Today is the Girls Can Use Power Tools, and I cannot wait to show you what I'm gonna make. Let's get our power tools plugged in and get crafting.
This first DIY is going to be using these supplies from the Dollar Tree and the wood that I just had cut at Home Depot on their big machines there. And I started by sanding down the wood because anytime you cut it on a big machine it can have all the splinters. So I sanded it down really well and then gave it a fresh coat of white paint because I'm building a little shelf that is going to go in my daughter's room. She is super into dressing up right now, and I wanted to create a little dress up corner for her where she can actually reach her pretty princess dresses. This shelf is going to be made for $4. Shelves can be so expensive, and it's just going to be so perfect because she can put her tiaras on it and hang her dresses from it. So at this point, I'm taking a dowel rod or a dowel stick, whatever you want to call this, from a plunger from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just gonna cut off the part where it has the screwed textured wood where you would screw it into the plunger head. And once that's done, I'm just gonna give it also a coat of white paint. Today is a hop with these lovely ladies for the Girls Can Use Power Tools Challenge. This was hosted by NataLee from Design to the Nines. She's the creator of this challenge. Make sure you go down below in the description box and click the link to the next channel after my video. And also come over and say hi to me on Instagram. I love connecting with all of you over there and getting in chats and talking about what you're up to in your own craft rooms. So once you've got everything painted and dried, you're going to go ahead and start figuring out your measurements with these wall hanging. These normally are used for plants, hanging plant hooks that you would put outside, maybe in your garden or even inside your home. I use them all the time here on my channel. I love these things. We are going to be screwing them into the wood, so make sure you have that measurement where it's equal on both sides. This is really easy to do. You just make sure you measure it with your ruler, and then you're going to go ahead and drill them in. Now keep in mind you want them to be the right space apart for the dowel that you're going to be hanging on them. Now at this point you can see that I'm going to be taking that long dowel or stick and I'm going to be pressing it down into the second hook. The bigger one is too loose, and then you're going to have to try to figure out how to attach it. And this is such a snug, tight fit that you're just going to press that right down in there and it's not even going to come out. It's in there so tight. So now you're going to go and figure out where your studs are in your walls in the room so that it'll be nice and secure on the wall, and then make your little markers where you need to put hang up tabs. Then once you've got that all figured out, you can take it into the room and go ahead and drill it into the studs so that if she gets tempted to want to hang on this thing, it's not going to come down on her, crashing on her head, and it's nice and safe for her. So make sure you just have your level out and measure to make sure that it's nice and straight, and using 2 screws go into the studs in the wall. Already it looks so cute, doesn't it? And it was only $4.
If you haven't already, please give this video a thumbs up and click the subscribe button because I have new videos that come out every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and they are always packed full of fun ideas.
Now we're going to move on to the next DIY because this is all a collective look that I'm making in the corner. So I'm taking these metal garden butterflies that you would just stick down into your ground and decorate your flower beds. I'm taking off that wire on the back because we're not going to need that. If you have seen my daughter's room for a while, you will know that on her other side of the room where her books are, there is a wall that has metal butterflies, and when I saw these, I was so excited because these were only $1, and typically metal butterflies that are spray painted white are pretty expensive. You can pay anywhere from $15 to $30 for a single butterfly. So I picked up these butterflies and I'm going to be spray painting them white. But first what we're going to do is we're going to create a hanging hook on the back. So you can see here that I'm cutting the wire down to size, 1 for each butterfly, and the wire from the Dollar Tree is actually really great because it's a soft pliable wire where it doesn't hurt your fingers to work with it. So I'm just creating a little loop, twisting it, and then I'm going to wire that onto the back of the butterfly. And you can see here that there's a wire coming through. That's the wire that's threaded through with that more textured pattern lacy butterfly on the front. It comes through that corrugated metal on the back side, and you just tie it all together where it's nice and snug on there. Once you've got those on, go ahead and take them outside and spray paint them white. And then you're just going to drill some holes and hang them up on the wall where they look like they're fluttering up the wall, and it's just so magical and pretty. My daughter absolutely loved these butterflies when she saw them, and it really just goes to the theme of her room, super girly and pretty. It really does not take much to make over a space to make it special. Now this little container here in the bottom corner, I thought I would share this DIY as well. I'm here on my Heidi Sonboul home channel, and I showed this a couple days ago on my Heidi Sonboul DIY, and since it has earned its home here in her room for her things, I thought I would share how I made that as well. And I will link that video at the end of this video so you can see the other projects I did that day. The next DIY is probably the one that I am most excited about sharing. I did see another YouTuber have this initial idea. Hers was a little bit different than mine. I'm going to make sure I give her credit. It'll be linked down below, titled with the supply list that I'm going to be putting down there. This is actually going to be called a 3-tiered storage unit. So just keep a lookout for that down below in the supplies. But what we're going to do is we're going to take these cooling racks, and we're going to need 7 of them to create the frame, but you can make this as big as you want. You can add more cooling racks, and again, these are just $1 at the Dollar Tree, and when you zip tie them together, it is so sturdy and strong. So you can see here that I have the base where the cooling rack little legs are facing down on the ground, so you've got that little support there. I put the 2 sides, and then on the back I'm putting 2 of the cooling racks, and you can see there that they're overlapped just a little bit so that it creates this perfect box. Then I'm going to put a zip tie top on, and then cut off any of those extra zip ties that we just don't need that are all over the place. And then I'm going to put in that middle shelf right at the halfway point. You're going to zip tie in another shelf, and make sure you're generous. Do zip ties on the 2 sides, and I used 5 zip ties on each one of those, so you can see the front and the back on the right side, the front and the back on the left side, and then one at the very back, so it holds everything all together really strong and sturdy. So once you've got everything all cut off, I took mine outside and I gave it a coat of spray paint because I wanted mine to be black. And then I took an extra one and I traced it onto a foam core board. You're going to need 3 of these pieces. And then I'm going to take this really pretty contact paper that they have at the Dollar Tree. I love the print of this. I try to use this a lot actually here on my channel whenever I'm going for something more pretty. And I'm just going to wrap the foam core board piece in it like you'd wrap a present. So I'm just making sure everything's nice and tight and smoothed out, and I'm going to cut off any extra that I don't need so it folds nicely on the sides. Tuck in those little flaps, add a little bit of hot glue, and then pull it over nice and tight so it's all on there really well and it looks really pretty. Now I'm going to take my Sharpie marker and I'm going to draw little holes that I know I'm going to punch out. I'm using my Crop-A-Dile again. You could use a traditional hole puncher for this, or even a craft knife, but I have my Crop-A-Dile, so I'm doing that. And then I'm going to zip tie that onto my frame. So you can see here that I've spray painted it black. And I just think at this point it really makes it go from just being Dollar Tree supplies to being high-end, especially with putting this little shelf on here. I just love the way this looks. So this is my original take on it. The other friend who did this on her channel, she ended up just having it being the wired racks with some storage stuff that she put inside. And I wanted to make mine just a little bit fancier, a little more farmhouse country chic, I guess. Or maybe even a little shabby chic country. I don't know what I would call this, but I just think it's so pretty. So here I am, I'm cutting off those black zip ties, and I'm gonna make this have the 3 shelves. So I've got the bottom, the middle, and then the very top I'm also going to put it. And once you see it all together, oh, it just looks so pretty. You would never know that this came from the Dollar Tree. And at this point, I have only spent $8.50 on it. These storage units are super, super expensive, and they basically come from very little supplies to make. So if I could recommend this, this could be so cool for a bedroom or a college dorm student, or just extra storage in like your laundry room. There's just so many cool things you can do with it. Now's where we're going to make it even prettier. We're going to take these buckets from the Dollar Tree storage section that they have there at their store, and I am just going to take these really cute garden tags, and I'm going to pop off those back sticks and add on some E6000 and some hot glue, making sure that it has that long-term, short-term seal on it. And I just think that this looks so stinking cute, adding this little tag to the front of it. And then I'm going to come around on the sides of my container, and I'm going to punch several holes. Actually, I needed a bigger hole than what my crocodile's size is, but you punch just a couple times and it'll get the big enough hole size that you need to run your rope through. So this is why I love this tool. I can go through plastic and metal, and you can see here that it's cutting it like it's not even struggling at all. Then I'm going to take my rope and I'm going to cut it down to size, and I'm going to thread it through that hole and hot glue everything down. And when it's all done and you put them on the shelves, it is the prettiest storage unit. Total cost for me to make everything was, I think, $12.50. I'm going to just say a total of $13 to make this whole thing. And what a beautiful, beautiful project.
Leave a comment down below to let me know which one of these projects you like the most. I had so much fun breaking out these power tools and getting crafty with them. Thanks for being a friend, and until the next episode, bye friends!